Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, mineral sports club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
The Vernon Independent Retailers Association reminds you that when you shop locally, you're helping to build our community by supporting local employment and keeping tax dollars in our own community. Support the Vernon Independent Retailers who support you. Brought to you by Brookside Florist, the Copy Center of Vernon, Dollar Plus, Healthy Times Market, H&H Auto Parts, Lakeland Pool and Spa, McAfee Hardware, McAfee Ski and Snowboard, Outcast Sports, Valley Paint and Hardware. Come in, we're local.
Good evening. Welcome to Vernon Vibes. It's always fun for me to be with you. It's an opportunity for us to share information, and hopefully you find it valuable and educational. Last evening was our third National Night Out held at the Maple Grange Park, and what a great success it really was. The community came out as they always did. The council cooked and made available food for our residents, and our community once again came together and showed its community spirit and its willingness and its desire to work together to reduce crime and the use of drugs in Vernon Township. Hopefully we'll have some pictures available so that you can get an idea of the flavor of the evening. It always is a big success. I want to thank this year Ms. Jean Buffalino of the PAL, as well as Missy Weedbrock from our Recreation Department and their respective staffs for putting together the program. This year was the 30th anniversary of National Night Out nationally. And while Vernon has come to the party lately, we do have a certain uniqueness. Actually, yesterday afternoon, I was contacted by Bill Dressel, the executive director of the New Jersey League of Municipalities, who asked whether or not Vernon would be willing to have our National Night Out featured in the monthly magazine put out by the League for our sister communities. And I said I was flattered by the idea and curious as to what led Bill to reach out to us, and he was very clear by stating that normally the National Night Out has been very successful in the high-density communities, the cities and towns in New Jersey, but it has not met with much success in the suburban rural area. I would simply say that we've had tremendous success. 3 years in a row, the turnout has grown. The response has been positive, and apparently the people in Vernon like it, and it gives them a chance to get to know our police, our sheriff, our fire and safety people, and all the things that are available to them as resources to help battle the drug situation that exists here as it does in other communities throughout New Jersey and the country. So it was a great night. And I want to thank everybody who was concerned, and I hope that all that were there enjoyed it as much as I did. And we'll talk more about other issues when we come back in a minute.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, mineral sports club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
The Vernon Independent Retailers Association reminds you that when you shop locally, you're helping to build our community by supporting local employment and keeping tax dollars in our own community. Support the Vernon Independent Retailers who support you. Brought to you by Brookside Florist, the Copy Center of Vernon, Dollar Plus, Healthy Times Market, H&H Auto Parts, Lakeland Pool and Spa, McAfee Hardware, McAfee Ski and Snowboard, Outcast Sports, Valley Paint and Hardware. Come in, we're local.
Welcome back. One of the most frequently asked questions that I've had over the last several weeks has to do with the approved senior housing project that the Vernon Land Use Board actually approved. And I addressed some of that in our last issue, but I want to assure our seniors that, in fact, two things are happening as we had announced previously, and I want to reconfirm for you. Number one, the project, which is now 55 units, had started out as 33, as you will recall, because of demand that we've been able to gauge in the marketplace, the principals decided to apply for 55 units, which was approved. And in fact, they are now embarking on the necessary steps to acquire the kind of financing from HUD and the state to allow for that subsidized rental program that we have spoken about in the past. And in addition, I want you to know that Vernon Township has taken a very proactive stance and has responded very, very clearly to the New Jersey Council on Affordable Housing rejecting their demand for us to turn over our COA money to them. We have met all the requirements of the law, and we have in fact answered all of the inquiries, and we have asked for a hearing before COA. We fully expect to have one, and we anticipate that we will in fact succeed in having them recognize this project, which has been a part of our master plan for many years, and which we worked toward in as timely a fashion as we could, predicated upon the availability of sewer and the like, which would be necessary. I am confident that the Council on Affordable Housing, no matter what the makeup of it is, will see the wisdom of allowing Vernon Township to go forward and use the collected COA funds from the developers in this town for the purpose that it was intended. But nonetheless, whether we succeed with COA or don't vis-a-vis the money we're talking about, what is important to know is that this project is real, it's going forward, and I will be keeping you apprised of things that develop with it. One of the nice developments that occurred kind of as an unexpected benefit, the gentleman who owns the property across the street from the projected senior housing project has started construction on his commercial building, which he had gotten approval for some time ago. I am told that that building will encompass retail stores on the street level and offices on the second story. And it seems at least that someone has a good idea that there will be a built-in market across the street, and I think that person is right. I hope that the individual will consider a mini mart or something of that sort that'll serve the needs of the people, but that's certainly up to the owner as he moves forward. It's nice to see new construction in the Vernon Town Center, and I believe some of it having been, the impetus for some of it having come from the approval of the senior housing project, which will bring a very large contingent of residents, potential customers and consumers, and a part of the town center developed in a manner that was always intended, which is to be a place where people can live without the need for transportation if they have to. So I will be keeping you apprised of the project, and we'll talk some more about other issues when we come back from this next commercial break.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, mineral sports club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
The Vernon Independent Retailers Association reminds you that when you shop locally, you're helping to build our community by supporting local employment and keeping tax dollars in our own community. Support the Vernon Independent Retailers who support you. Brought to you by Brookside Florist, the Coffee Center of Vernon, Dollar Plus, Healthy Times Market, H&H Auto Parts, Lakeland Pool and Spa, McAfee Hardware, McAfee Ski and Snowboard, Outcast Sports, Valley Paint and Hardware. Come in, we're local.
Welcome back. A topic that is germane and connected to the creation of the new senior housing in the town center is one that I want to speak a little bit about to you this evening also. I have made mention in the past that I've been working on the possibility of United Water providing water, central water, to the area of the town center which has the water pipes already laid but does not have any water going to the pipes. Actually, this week, United Water will be making application to the New Jersey BPU for what we are referring to as Phase 1 of extending their franchise area into the Vernon Town Center. Phase 1 will include two very important accomplishments, one of which will be to provide water to the buildings along Route 94 in the town center, and two, and what I'm most concerned about, is providing water here to the town hall. It will take us off of the need for the underground tank that is in the front of this building for our sprinkler system, and it will also provide centralized water for other purposes in the building. It's the first step in what will become a stepwise, phased-in provision of central water to the town center and the other areas that are on the Vernon sewer system, and ultimately will lead to our ability to become a meter-driven billing system for our sewerage. I know that there's been controversy and there have been people who are not happy with the equivalent daily use of the pricing of our sewer, but because of the law, we are not allowed to have two different billing systems, i.e. a metered system, for example, in the Great Gorge Village condominiums as they enjoyed when the sewer was owned by United Water, and then an EDU system in the town center and other areas which are not on United Water at the present time. The ultimate goal is to bring United Water to everywhere where there is sewer in Vernon Township, and then switch our future billing to a per-use basis. It's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight. But as we move through that process, we are addressing the needs of our residents, our commercial properties, and our potentially new commercial properties that will be coming to Vernon Township. I can tell you that as the economy has begun to, in fact, recover, slowly I'll bet recover, I am getting inquiries in this office from corporations and businesses that are looking for land in the town center that might be for sale. So I'm cautiously optimistic that our plan for the development of the town center is moving forward. We now have proof that there is, in fact, commercial development going on, and that I believe it will continue as the economy improves, so will our town center. So I wanted to report to you what was happening now. I will keep you apprised of what's going to be happening as we move forward, and I believe that this mayor and this town council has done exactly what we said we were going to do in terms of trying to move some of the burden off of the Vernon residents and their property tax to a much larger commercial base in Vernon Township. That is happening, admittedly slowly, but it is happening, and every journey starts with the first step. We'll be back to talk about some other issues right after this word from our sponsors.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine. With luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, Mineral Sports Club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities, it's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
The Vernon Independent Retailers Association reminds you that when you shop locally, you're helping to build our community by supporting local employment and keeping tax dollars in our own community. Support the Vernon Independent Retailers who support you. Brought to you by Brookside Florist, the Copy Center of Vernon, Dollar Plus, Healthy Times Market, H&H Auto Parts, Lakeland Pool and Spa, McAfee Hardware, McAfee Ski and Snowboard, Outcast Sports, Valley Paint and Hardware. Come in, we're local.
In our last session, I talked to you, and several other sessions, I talked to you about our capital plan for secondary and tertiary roads in 2013. And we are in the midst of that program right now. In fact, the Evergreen section of Vernon Township has been completed and, in fact, has been the recipient of oil and stone on their surfaces, as well as patching and repair of the areas of their streets that were indicated, where it was indicated it was needed. While you're watching this show, the residents who live in the Pleasant Valley Lake section of Vernon Township will, in fact, have all of their streets completely redone this year. I am very, very pleased to be able to tell you that, in fact, we now have worked out a 5-year plan for the refurbishment, repair, and upgrading of our secondary and tertiary streets throughout Vernon, and as well as a plan to deal with the main thoroughfares. This project we've been working on for some time, and I can tell you that it will be done in a way that will allow your property taxes to be stable or slightly down, as we've done for the last 2 years, and at the same time give you the value for your dollar, which is what I think most Vernon residents are looking for. The progress that we are making in the area of asset protection, defined as not only our municipal building and our DPW and our recreational fields, which I know that all of you will agree have seen great improvements over the last 2 years, but also our streets, roads, our signage, our guardrails. There is always much to be done in those areas. There is now a plan in place, one that can be followed by Vernon Township, and if it funded properly, will keep our infrastructure in its very best shape for a long time to come. I don't have to tell you that that was something that was sorely missing from the previous administrations of this government. Year after year after year, the DPW people would come up with a plan, and year after year after year, the sitting council and managers would not fund it. We are funding those projects, as you well know. They included the paving of Canister Road. They included the improvements, in fact, to the intersection of 517 and Maple Grange Road. And everyone who has had anything to say about those two projects have been positive about it, except maybe the fact that the people driving on Canister Road now go much too fast. And so pardon the advertisement, but please slow down. It's important. It may be your life or the life of someone you love that gets involved in a nasty accident on that road. It's so smooth and so tempting to speed. We all can understand it, but I'd appreciate it if you'd all slow down. But back to the facts that I wanted to share with you. We're improving our streets, our roads, and all of our assets, and we're doing it in a business-like, stepwise fashion that will not negatively impact your pocketbook. That's something that all of you need to be aware of, and all of us can be proud of. It's a heck of an accomplishment in turning around what was a 15-year debacle, in my opinion. I'll be back to talk about other issues right after this break.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine. With luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, Mineral Sports Club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities, it's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
The Vernon Independent Retailers Association reminds you that when you shop locally, you're helping to build our community by supporting local employment and keeping tax dollars in our own community. Support the Vernon Independent Retailers who support you. Brought to you by Brookside Florist, the Coffee Center of Vernon, Dollar Plus, Healthy Times Market, H&H Auto Parts, Lakeland Pool and Spa, McAfee Hardware, McAfee Ski and Snowboard, Outcast Sports, Valley Paint and Hardware. Come in, we're local.
I'd reported to you last edition of Vernon Vibes that in fact we had begun to start the process for a smooth transition vis-a-vis the retirement of Police Chief Roy Weary and the impact of that retirement in terms of the upward mobility within the department. I want to take the time to report to you that I have now completed interviews with 14 of our patrolmen, sergeants, and dispatchers in regard to their perceptions of areas that we could improve our service to the people in Vernon. That exercise was extremely beneficial, and I want to say publicly thank you to all of the officers and employees in the Vernon Police Department who participated. Your candid responses are valuable, and I assure you they were not lost on me, and I'm sure that you will see as we go forward together the ideas that we all talked about in an appropriate form in terms of manpower and distribution of manpower and the other things we talked about. I'm sure that you will see some modifications that will benefit you, the employees, the police officers and dispatchers, and thereby allow you to deliver a more community-oriented based policing and an improvement in our traffic control situation. One that I alluded to in the last segment, but I'm going to do it again. People of Vernon, I beg you, slow down, drive carefully. The number of accidents in this town is beginning to climb, and it's directly related to the excessive speed being traveled on our roads. I'm not naive enough to think that it's just Vernon people. In fact, I know that it's not. But I would encourage you, the residents of Vernon, and those of our surrounding area that may be watching the Vernon Vibes tonight, that when you travel through Vernon, please drive the speed limit and use caution. We really don't want to use that helicopter ambulance as much as we've had to use it recently. We're glad that it's here. It's a benefit that we have that many communities don't, but nonetheless, it's being used far, far more than it should. So I would just say to you, we're moving forward in the decisions that need to be made in the police department. There are several steps that we will follow next, including exposing the potential candidates for the chief to interviews with chiefs of some of the other departments in the area, and other things that we will do before we are ready to announce our final decision. We're following a process that I'm comfortable with, and I think that the township and the people who work in the department can be comfortable with. And I assure you that what may very well be the toughest decision I'm going to have to make as mayor, because the two gentlemen who are eligible under civil service to be appointed, both are highly qualified officers. So it's not going to be an easy decision, but I assure you that when we make it, it'll be made based upon the work that we have done so far and will have done by the time the decision is made. So stay tuned. I anticipate making that decision actually before the chief retires, so that there is a smooth transition and a time frame for whoever the new chief is to be able to work under the tutelage of Chief Weary, and I think it will work out very well. I'll be back in just a minute.
Vernon Vibes is brought to you in part by United Water, the official water company of Vernon Township. United Water, involved in the communities they serve.
Discover the treasure that's in your own backyard at Crystal Springs Resort. It's the perfect way to escape your daily routine with luxury spas, award-winning golf, fabulous dining, mineral sports club, and so much more. Even treat yourself to an overnight stay for that special occasion. Great recreation and world-class amenities. It's all right here in beautiful Sussex County at Crystal Springs Resort.
The Vernon Independent Retailers Association reminds you that when you shop locally, you're helping to build our community by supporting local employment and keeping tax dollars in our own community. Support the Vernon Independent Retailers who support you. Brought to you by Brookside Florist, the Coffee Center of Vernon, Dollar Plus, Healthy Times Market, H&H Auto Parts, Lakeland Pool and Spa, McAfee Hardware, McAfee Ski and Snowboard, Outcast Sports, Valley Paint and Hardware. Come in, we're local.
Welcome back. Our last segment this evening, I'd like to talk about some exciting changes that are coming to the Maple Grange Park. You will all remember that we had initially, at the beginning of 2013, talked about fixing the courts, the basketball courts that are at the Veterans Memorial Field on Vernon Crossing Road, and repairing the playground area that was constructed and donated by Volunteer Work so many years ago. However, after much deliberation and meetings and discussions about the best way to go about this, we've come to the conclusion that, number one, because of the nature of the soil at the Veterans Memorial Park, fixing the basketball course there really is kind of an exercise in futility, because, as anyone who uses it knows, that area is subject to flood and the ground is subject to moving. And that's one of the reasons why the basketball court there is dangerous, because the asphalt is wavy. So we've made a decision that we are going to, in fact, build 2 brand new tennis courts at the Maple Grange Park. They will be lighted, and they will be available for play by the end of September, early October of this year. In addition, we will be building a brand new playground area, again, at Maple Grange Park. It's our thought that most of the recreational activity that occurs in this township now revolves around the Maple Grange Park, and often when Mom brings one of her children to play soccer or football or any of the other sports that take place there, they often have a younger sibling that comes along, and it would be great for that youngster to be able to be playing in the playground instead of having to sit still while their brother or sister plays a game. And so you will be seeing a brand new playground facility added to the Maple Grange facility, along with the basketball courts. Those 2 projects will be completed by the beginning of October, and I believe will be a very welcomed and well-used addition to Vernon's active community life. In closing, I would like to also say that 2 of the activities that we have going on in Vernon Township that result in the highest amount of positive feedback that I've ever experienced as a public official are the community garden and the Vernon Dog Park. People have just stopped me on the street to tell me what a great experience it is to have neighbors getting to know each other as they tend their gardens or as they run their dogs. And I just want to say to the people who were behind both of those projects, well done. Our community appreciates what you've done. In closing tonight, I'd like to take this moment to encourage you to, in fact, patronize the people who for the past year or so have funded this program for your education and for your benefit. The people that, in fact, advertise on Vernon Vibes are local businesses, and they hope by doing so that they can bring to your attention what they do in this community and how they support this community in ways that you may not even be aware of. So, as I've said many times before, thank them, shop there, and as always, shop local. Have a great night.